Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to RocketDogRc. In this week's episode, we are going to be looking at the new SCX 10 2nd Gen JK. Love these Jeeps, man. Alright, so as you can see, you got the box. I haven't even opened it. I just got it in from A-Main. Well, I got it in from A-Main a couple weeks ago. I've been out on the road, so I just got home. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, we've all seen this. Everybody's already looked at this. We've seen the box. You probably already got one. Everybody talks about everything. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is get this thing open so we can take a look at it. And let's see, how do we do that one? Do that one. And I don't know how this box opens. Never really paid attention to somebody opening a box, so. Alright, so got that done. Looks like I can just slide it around the ends. Okay. Push this. Alright, so here we go. Alright, let's see, break out the blade, and this is the Tactic radio. Everybody's familiar with these. They're moderate radios. I mean, they don't really compare to Futaba or whatever, but you know what? That wheel is like, well, they're just making that wheel, the foam on that wheel right there, a lot smaller. Get that edge on there. It's kind of like, ugh. But anyways, so there's the Tactic radio, and as always, you get the bits and pieces, a little bit of tools, spare clips and stuff like that. Sometimes you find a secret goodie. I don't know if you can see this. It's got bull horns. I might just put that on the front, just like they have it. Let's see what else we might have in here. Dry shaft spare parts, stuff stamped with Axial, spare clips, and yeah, okay. I'm done with that. And you get the manual. You guys can float through that, and so if you break something, it's probably got all the part numbers for it and everything like that. So, stick that here. Alright, so as you can see, we got the Jeep up here, and I think it looks pretty awesome to start with. I can't find anything to cut with. What happened to my... Where are my scissors? Really? Oh. I just had to stand up to see them. Alright. Now, I will tell you this. This is my very first SCX 10 2nd Gen chassis. Now, I don't really own one. I bought parts for one, I built one, I'm building one, yeah, so, you know, yeah. I mean, this is going to be my first one, so I'm excited to really get down into the dirty deeds of this. Looks like it's got some decent articulation from the factory, so it's not too bad. It's pretty light. There it is. Now, I don't know if they're just saving money on this, but I know everybody's complained about it already, not having the interior on it. Proline makes a body something similar to this. It's a little bit different, but it does have where you could purchase the interior from Proline that goes with that body. And I'm sure you put all that together and it's go on the Jeep and everything. But you know, as you can tell, I mean, they did upgrade the fender flares and everything. There is no spare tire on the back, which kind of cleans up the looks of it. Looks like it has a factory light kit in it and everything like that. I like these axles and it feels good. Yeah, but you know what feels good here on the bench when we're moving around doing the suspension test and stuff? That's something else. That's something totally, completely different compared to when it gets out on the trail. So, now, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I just did. They've got that pull tab. Now these used to be on the little parch trees, but now they're on the clips. So that's cool, and I appreciate that. Okay, so looks like it's got a factory light kit in it, so I only need to unplug this side. And then I need to unplug this one. Alright. Again, we're back to Axial bodies. I think this does feel a little more flimsy than the predecessor, the SCX 10s. But then again, it doesn't have the interior in it, so it's going to flex a little bit more. So, but it's got the light kit in the front and the rear. Looks like it's just like one of those. It's like the LED bulb section, the string for the simple light kit. They just don't have that little electronic module that you plug these things into. These actually now plug directly into the ESC, which is going to kind of suck because when it comes time to changing that ESC, now you're not going to be able to control your lights. Well, I think the simple light controller will do that. So if you got one that has burnt out bulbs or whatever like that, you might be able to just pick that one of those up. So we'll see what happens there. I don't care about that. Alright, so there is no battery. This doesn't come with a battery. If it did, it fell out somewhere. I didn't see it, but I didn't see anything in the box. So that's fun too, because I have a LiPo. And I'll stick that in there just like that. Single battery strap. Not too bad. Fits pretty good. It's got the Tactic servo. Oh, is this going to fit? Woohoo! Look at that. This is why I like Venom's. That's a uni plug from Venom. And then this has the T-style plug on it. Kudos to Axial for being the first one to step up and do that. Get away from that Tamiya plug. So, let's get to this. Let's see. Got a heavy duty transfer case or transmission and everything like that. So, Harley Designs took a look at it, and I see what they're talking about, how this looks all beefier, a lot more plastic in the material and stuff like that there. So, that's definitely a plus. Should be a lot more stable. These links here, though, where they are metal links, and I'm sure they're going to work really good, I don't really care for them, to be honest, because they look a little kind of cheap. You know, when you look at it, when you're going over a rock, it's going to hit that lip. It's going to get stuck on there. Plus, they're pretty narrow, they're thin. You know, compared to what like the Vanquish had for the titanium links, and then the steel ones. So, yeah, I might change those out just because. Yeah, there's a lot of play in that locker in there too, so that's probably going to loosen up over time. It'll probably break. And this does have the 3-link in the front. It's got the 2 lowers and the 1 on the top, and then it's got the panhard bar. got some decent travel to it. Standard tactic servo. This, I don't have any batteries for. That sucks. Now I can't go out and play because I don't have any batteries. Might have some batteries in the house here. I might have to check. Alright, so let's get beyond that. Yeah, so far this looks like a pretty nice setup. It's like the standard Vanquish spider rock rails. The only thing is it just doesn't have the part that goes up on the body and everything. So this it's got a little tiny groove here for the body to sit in. So that'll keep it all in place and everything like that. What I'm hoping they do come out with is either a drop-in interior and some fender flares, some inner fender wells. So that'll be nice. I mean, if they could do that, this is a badass rig right here. So the tires are nice, sticky, and they feel pretty good compared to, well, they both feel really good. I wonder if they're all using the same compound. What is it? The R35 that Axial uses. Let's see what they say on their website. What? High pinion. Yeah. So they got the high pinion gear on it, so drive shaft doesn't hang out low. Hope there's an upgrade for the locker because there's a lot of play in there. Look at that. That's a lot of play. That's really loose lockers. Maybe Vanquish comes out. I'm sure they're going to come out with a SCX 10 second gen CVDs up front. And probably somebody's going to do titanium axle for the rear too. Or just tighten up the lockers, you know, whatever they want to do. Let's see. Oh, I bet you there's wipers in that blade, on that box. Wipers, blades in the plastic bag that came with all those parts and bits and stuff like that. So you have the door handles and wiper blades that you could put on this, so it'll make it look more scale. I like the red too, by the way. Red makes it stand out. Let's see, the Nettos. Is that what these are? These are Nettos. I think this is the first time Netto's ever been on a scale rig, so yeah. Definitely nice. 4.7 inches tall, 1.9 wheel. This is an S30 compound, so it feels pretty good. I mean, it feels like a really sticky tire. I mean, I hope these things work really good because I like to use them for a while. I like the tread design. These on the HPI Venture, I don't know what tread design that is or what actual tire. I guess it's just something that HPI did. You know, they put it in their own sticky compound. But that looks like it'd work really good too. And I'm looking on their website. Yeah, it's a 35 turn brush motor. So that's good. It's got a good 35 turn. I like a 35 turn brush motor, and the reason why is because it's a good moderate balance between a 27 and a 45. A 27 is going to give you a little bit more wheel speed on a brush motor, and when you're out crawling, it's not necessarily about wheel speed. I mean, you know, that when they had the 55 and the 45 turn brush motors, it was really soft on the trigger and very slow and soft on the bottom end when you first start to spin the motor, and it had a lot of traction. But now we've gotten away from that a little bit, and now everybody's going to the brushless stuff, and Holmes Hobbies is supposed to make a 4600 kV motor that's supposed to work really good, just like a 35 turn. I haven't tried any of those. I'm a brush motor kind of guy. I like that instant first revolution of the motor. I think will outperform a brushless motor. After, you know, 10 revolutions after that, that might be true where the brushless might outperform, as long as it's a censored motor. So let's see what we got. What else we got here? Metal gears in the transmission. All your typical stuff. It's got the steel links. Oh, it's got the adjustment, so you can adjust your battery position, so you can push it farther forward or farther rear or off to the side, depending on what type of battery you got. This is a 3S battery, so it fits pretty good. I'm not going to put anything on it. I don't really. That little bit of movement right there is probably not going to bother me too much, but we'll see. And let's see, the typical Axial C-channel steel frame. Let's see. That's about it. Dual slipper clutch. What is this Tactic 45? See, now this Tactic servo is 151 ounces. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense why HPI would take and put a 90-ounce servo, one that you know that's not going to work, in there. At least Axial's putting a 151 ounce in it. We all know that probably won't. That'll work just a little bit, but that 500 ounce servo or the 300 ounce servo that you get from Savox or Homes Hobby, whatever, that's where you need to be to really get a good handle on your steering when you're out on the rocks. So my prediction, I think, when we get out on the rocks and compare the Axial SCX 10.2, HPI Venture, and the Traxxas TRX4, I think this is going to be able to handle those stiffer rocks because of that steering servo. They're still dealing with 35 turn high torque motors. The only thing is, in the Traxxas, it's not a 550 motor or a 540 motor. It's more like a 550, and it's I think it's a 30 turn or something like that. I forget what it is. But in my TRX4, it's going to go up against these two, and the TRX4 is going to have an advantage because it's got Hyrax tires, aluminum wheels, and a 9-tooth pinion on the motor, so it's going to have a lower gear. Is that going to be better? I don't know, but we'll see. If I could get the Marlin crawler out, get it done, get the mods put on the leaf springs, I'll get that out and we'll put the Marlin crawler up against all four of them, see where it's at, and then pull one of my rigs off the shelf. I'll dust it off, and then we'll go out and we'll do a 5-rig challenge coming up here real quick. We'll try and get that video shot this week, and then we'll start posting some of these videos up every week. You'll see all the product reviews on all these vehicles. But there you go. I mean, God, I love that plug right there. That's just crazy. I don't understand why they didn't start doing that years ago. But if you ask, I think this is probably one of Axial's best rigs. I mean, I think it's a really good looking rig. I like the red Jeep. I don't like that I'm having to fight this. There we go. Just like that. So my prediction is I think the Axial is going to win between all of them. And one of the reasons why I would say that is because Axial has been doing this a lot longer than anybody else, and they have the geometry down. They know what works and what doesn't work, and they've been around. So there you go. Nettos on the wheels, glued onto the wheels. I think I like that wheel and tire compound that in the combination. I think it's going to work really good. So we're going to put these up together in competition and see which one works. HPI, I think, is going to hold its own. I mean, again, we're dealing with HPI. They're not licensed wheels or tires or anything like that. The tires are a little bit shorter, so it's going to be a little bit harder to get out on the trails and over some of the rocks compared to these tires. So these are, what size tires did they say they were? Oh, 4.7s. Okay, so there you go. It's just like a growler size. Pitbull growlers are like 4.75. So yeah, this is a little bit shorter and just that much more narrow. So Look at the turn, man. That's just crazy. It's got fancy decals on it. Yeah. Pretty nice. It's a good looking Jeep. You can't complain. I mean, either one of these rigs, I mean, they're nice. But yeah, we'll get these out on the. I'm gonna change. I got to change a plug on this one here. We'll get it out on the trail. And this one here, I just need to charge a battery for. Put some batteries in the receiver. It's ready to go. TRX4 is done. I've got some videos shot for that already, so that'll be out on the trails. I just need to get some work done on the Marlin crawler and see if I can get that out there too. I gotta find some people. I guess I have my brother, my nephew, myself, and see if I can get one other person. We go out and do some testing on all this. So I'm interested to see who's going to be the better of all the four. I might bring my own personal rig, one of my own that I built. That way we could have a basis to see how it crawls compared to others, and so. But that'll be interesting. So stay tuned and subscribe. So make sure you hit that notification bell, and start looking out for some of this this quick little 4-rig competition that we got coming out. Traxxas TRX4, Axial SCX 10.2 JK, HPI Venture, and I'm going to try and get that Marlin crawler out there too. So I like the Marlin crawler. It's got the leaf spring, so I think it's going to be limited as to what it's going to be able to do compared to a linked truck. But yeah, eventually the Marlin crawler will go to a linked suspension, and then I'll change the shocks over, put some, you know, better shocks on it and stuff like that. Get rid of the, what is it, Super Lift shocks, I think is what they put on them, the Super Lift brand. But yeah, I got all the parts to do all that too, so I'm going to try and get that done here in the next few hours and get everything out on the trail, and we're going to do some crawling. So appreciate you guys watching the video. If you guys have any comments or questions or anything like that, put them down below. I'd like to try and have little conversations with everybody. So yeah, give me your 2 cents, and then I'll give you mine, and we'll find that extra penny somewhere, and we'll have a nickel together. So you guys have a good day, and hope you have a good holiday. Thank you.